welcome to the stream. How you guys doing? You all are good. All right, so let's activate this on Twitch. You can watch it on Twitch too as well. All right, welcome to the stream. All right, let me give you guys a quick update on what we do here. Now, this stream is basically all about calling trades out for you guys, live trades, so you guys can trade with me live. And also, I'm also teaching you guys exactly how to monitor, what is it called? How to code your trading strategies, not just strategies, but also like your trading tools too as well. So you don't have to just be strategies alone. Tools also are involved. You know how to code your risk calculators, lot size calculators, and all that. How to code your entry strategy for stop loss, automatic entry strategy. All right, where you just click a button and then immediately just take the trade. How to do that. All right, so those are the things that we're going to be doing right here. And also, I'm going to be calling trades out for you guys, so you guys can join me to trade and also make money with me live. Okay, now we're going to do kind of like a what is it called now, a recap of the trade we're supposed to take yesterday, our sell zone areas and everything. We're going to do a recap of it so I can show you guys what really happened yesterday. I called some of the trades out on I called one of the trades. I called it out on Telegram channel. So for those of you guys that want to join the Telegram channel, you can do that. Join me. Let's trade live. Okay. So let's do this together. And yesterday we're able to successfully create, an EA with DeepSeek. Today is just basically going to be, us, testing the EA, taking it on the, what is it called, on our MT5, compiling it, testing it, and then see if the EA is profitable. Now, of course, you don't expect the EA to be profitable, right? Because we just created something, right? We just created something, all right? So it doesn't have to be profitable. This is just like a teaching class, okay? So that when you have an idea, you can easily just, do something with your idea, create something nice with your idea. So this is the code we created yesterday, but before then, let's quickly mark our key levels for today. All right, with the way things are looking now, yesterday key level on Dow Jones, which is US30, still remains the same. So nothing really changed, right? Now the good thing is the TCH alt level indicator, right, basically always adjusts, so you don't have to adjust it, right? It will adjust when it finds a more recent key level and mark that on the chart, so you can easily just go straight to use the level instead of you trying to pinpoint and looking for the levels yourself. It's going to help you to mark the levels on the chart where you just go and then use the level like that. You get what I'm saying? All right, so let's take this one out, and our sell zone area still remains the same like yesterday that we had. Sell zone continues to be the same. US30 has been selling. All right, so I'm gonna move this one. I'm gonna move it right here, and we're waiting for price to come back to this level. And when price get there, we'll be having our sell zone area there, and we'll be looking for sales right there. We were really close yesterday, right? Because this was our sell area, but price missed that just a little bit. You can see how close price was to the level, and price rejecting back to the downside. And that's to tell you that level has something, something great in it. And you can go back, if you go back to actually just check why we have that key level right there, you can see we have multiple bounce off of that level, like a lot of bounce off of that level, right? So because we have multiple bounce, that's the reason we are using that level. Now this is something you can basically just do with your eye by just looking at the chart. But if you don't want to stress yourself with that, if you want a much stronger level, then the TCH alt level indicator is the indicator you need to use for this. So it do all the heavy lifting for you. You check for the level, and then create the level on the chart. All you just have to do is wait for that level, for price to get to that level, then you get into the trade. Simple as that. Now, why do we choose this level? All right, if you go back, you can see that this level has been a very strong level. Price has reacted to this level multiple times, even when price didn't reject it fully. You can still see that price reacted at that level. Every single time price gets to that level, there's always a very big reaction, and that reaction is something that we really need, right? Now let's start from here. I mean, if you go back, you will still see reaction on that same level. So you can see right here we have a reaction, price push above it a little bit, and then turns to support, and price break above it again. It's still a support at this point here. You can see that when price broke below it, that level becomes resistance, right? And that's something, right? It's a very diverse something, right? That level immediately becomes resistance, right? And then it stays resistance for a very long time. You can see bounce here, bounce from here, bounce from here. Look at that. And then even when price wants to break to the upper side at this point here, you can see it has a reaction at that very point there. So we also have price reacting to it, and then look at this here, reaction, and when price got there again, you can see reaction, 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 reaction. You can see price broke it here, but then you can still see reaction, right? So what the TCH short level indicator basically does is it take account of recent levels, right? So we want reactions of like the last 3 reactions or 4 reactions or 5, right? It just take account of those, and when it sees a continuous retracement, right, when you see a continuous reaction right there, so it basically just box the level. You get what I'm saying? So all right, so it will basically just box the level, and when it box the level, it tells you that there is a very high chance that when price get there, there's going to be a reaction. That's basically what the TCH short level indicator does. So, and yesterday you can also see that price was really close to the key level before, you know, tanking down. That's what we see right here. You see that very massive push to the downside. All right, so it was really close but didn't get to the level. That's what we have on US30. If you're also looking at SPX2 as well, yes, we marked this level yesterday, all right, as our sell zone area yesterday. And I'm going to break down the trade that I didn't basically take this trade yesterday, right? Because I kind of like missed the entry because I was busy. You know, yesterday was the first day of the stream, so I was just everywhere, you know. So at the end of the day, I missed this one, but I was able to take the NAS100 entry. So you can also see when I marked the level, I told you guys it was a sell zone, all right, and price is going to react to the place. Now basically, what did you guys see? Price got there, you know. After price getting there, you can also see that very big move to the downside. Now this is something that the TCH short level indicator does, just as I've explained it just now. Now it doesn't matter what your strategy is, you know, everybody have different type of approach. You know, I have my own approach. You can always develop your own kind of like approach towards this. So if your approach is double bottom double top, if your approach is whatever you use, right, if it's a candle base, maybe you're looking for an engulfing candle, or maybe you're looking for anything, right, there's always that. Here, look at this place here, we have an engulfing candle, and after that engulfing candle we can see price tank to the downside. So that level has a very big high chance of price reacting there. That's the reason we have this one right at this point here. You can also look to the back. You can see we have multiple bounces, you know, on that level. That was the reason the level is a key level. Now, what basically made this level obvious, like, you know, this level is very, very obvious. Now we can see just because of the fact that the indicator marked it there. That was the reason it's obvious, right? If you had to remove the indicator and you have to start pinpointing everything one after the other, you know, looking for key levels and everything, you have a lot of key levels on your chart. You know, you just mark several places and all that. But this basically just help you to filter out, you know, what is not necessary, and then just show you what is basically necessary. All right. So that's our sell zone area. And basically I will normally go to 5-minute time frame to look for entry. Now for those of you guys that have been following me for a longer period of time, you know I really love double top double bottom. This is something I really like to see. All right, so you can see right here, if you're approaching a double bottom double top, right, you know, you can always approach it from here. You know, this is still a swing high at this very point right here. And then we have a change of structure. All right, you know, some people might have gotten into the trade from here, somewhere around this place here, put their stop loss above here, or maybe use an ATR as their stop loss to push the stop loss up. And even if you lose this trade, right, you'll still be able to catch this one at this point right here. That basically just tanked to the downside right here. So there's so much opportunity for you to actually catch from this level right here. Just the opportunity is just endless, right? The opportunity is right there. You just basically needs to push to check which one you basically want to trade, right? So The same thing goes for NAS100. Now, mind you, this TCH level indicator works in every time frame. So if you're usable, I recommend that if you're going to look for the level that is more stronger, start from 15 minutes upward. It can be 4 hours, can be 1 hour, can be 30 minutes, but make sure it's 15 minutes upward, right? So for me now, I basically just use 15 minutes, right? So there's been a time where I was using 1 hour before, but now I've just basically just switched to 15 minutes because I feel like 15 minutes, will be able to give me like more entries, right? And more accurate entries too as well, because I have a very strong and solid, entry strategy. So it will basically help me to be able to get into trades quicker, faster, and a lot of trades. I mean, a lot of trades does not matter, right? If you have one level on your chart, maybe you're doing it on the 4 hours time frame and just one level on your chart, right? And maybe you're just taking one trade in a week and all, it's still good, right? But for the love of trading, right, I always like to position myself as a scalper or a day trader, right? So that's the reason I'm going down this much, and I've pretty find this to really work for me. So that's the reason why I'm using it. But you can always use whatever you like, right? So even at this point here, you can basically just use double top, double bottom, and a break, or maybe engulfing candle or whatever, right? Everything still work right here on NAS100 too as well. So this is basically the trade that we took yesterday, right? Let me break it down for you guys. Now, one of the things that I like when it comes to trading is the fact that I really love to always take advantage of a very tiny move in the market, right? So I don't want to spend too much time being in the markets, right? So I just want to get in and get out. Now, that's the beauty of it. Like if you're trading the key level, price don't have to go your direction, right? I've always said this, right? Price don't have to go the direction you're always expecting price to go to, right? Maybe the direction everybody's looking at. For instance, now you have this level, you have price going down from here. Look at it, price is moving down here, right? Now most people will assume that this is a downtrend, right? At least price has been going down for some time. This is a downtrend, and this is a correction phase, right? So this price is basically just correcting at this point here, and there's a very big chance that price is going to continue to the downside, something like this, right? Now a lot of people are going to basically wait for the perfect time to get into the trades, and then maybe they find an entry somewhere up here or whatever, and then they get into the trade, putting their stop loss somewhere above here, all right, and then take profits all the way down probably to this point right here. I mean, this is normal textbook strategy, right? But one thing I found is that we have 50% chance. I mean, you might probably not even have 50% chance. Let's say you're having like 30% chance or maybe 20% chance, but if you have a very good risk to reward, you're going to be able to actually still be profitable at the end of the day. But what will increase your chance, right? What's if you want to increase your chance? What if you want to do it the more better way that can increase your chance in the market, that you don't really care about the direction of the market? What you really care is that you're waiting at a key level that you know that price has a very high chance of reacting to. In that case, what do? You get your key level as usual, as normal, and when you get your key level, you basically just wait for price to actually react, right? Wait for price to react to that key level, and you can always capitalize on that small reactions that happen, right? That very tiny reaction that happen, you just capitalize it and just make something nice of it, right? So that is basically what I love to do, right? So, and that was why I was able to get into this trade yesterday, right? It didn't get into we didn't get a full TP hit, but I was able to close partials from this trade. So I got in here, my stop loss was up here. I called this one out on the Telegram channel. So for those of you guys that want to be on the Telegram channel, you can join the Telegram channel, join the family, so that you can always see my trades. If we can't take any trade on the live stream, you'll be able to get this, get the trade on Telegram channel. So I got in right here, and when I got in, price tanked down immediately. Price went down. Stop loss was above here. I was basically targeting 1 to 2 RR, but I have one thing I call my modification style. So the modification style, and why did I get into the trade, right? Let me explain to you guys. It's so simple to end. The reason why I get into this. So basically, I switched to 5-minute time frame, all right, and then I switch my candle. Immediately price get to my key level, right, which is my alt level, right? I immediately price get there. Let me show you guys. The alt level was somewhere around here yesterday. But even before we have a shift in our alt level today, let me just mark the alt level that we're looking for today, and I'll go back to explain that strategy again, entry again. All right, so this is going to be my sell zone for today. Yes, my sell zone is going to be for here for today, and then I'm going to move this. I'm going to put it right here, sell zone, and then I'm also going to have another sell zone at this point here. All right, let's try to delete this. All right. Okay, that level is my sell level, and I'm gonna have this right here. When you guys get there, I'm going to get into it, right? And this level might seem far away times, right? But not all the time, right? Sometimes you can have a level as close as like this and prices here. So that's the reason why you have to always be available in the market all the time, especially when your trading session has open. I only trade for just 4 hours every day, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Sometimes I won't even take trade by 7 p.m. Sometimes all my trade already concluded by, if I start by 3 p.m., all my trade already concluded by 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. So this is my sell zone for SPX, and for US30 my sell zone, and for NAS I have my sell zone here. All right, simple as that. So let's see how price reacts to it, when price get there. Okay, now back to explaining the strategy. My entry strategy is usually very simple, and I'll switch basically to 5 minutes as I've said before. And what will I write? That level was somewhere around, if you watch the live stream yesterday, you know that the level was somewhere around this level right here. Okay, then after price got there, all right, I basically just switched to Kanachi candle. All right, that's what I do. Yes, that level was somewhere above here. The level was somewhere above here yesterday. Yeah, I called it on Telegram channel though. All of that, I'm going to screenshot these key levels and post it on Telegram so that you can always make reference. Key level, the next day after the traders play out, whether good or bad. Okay, so I waited for what is it called? I waited for Ikanachi candle to go up, right, on 5-minute candle. Why the price was here, I waited for this Ikanachi candle to happen right here. Okay, this was Ikanachi candle that forms the entry. Show you guys this one right here was the candle that forms the entry. Yes, that. Yes, this candle forms the entry. So immediately this candle closed bearish, I got into the trade. All right, I can actually do F to measure average. All right, average of the of two candles, right? So let's go back to normal candle here, and then you can see that this particular candle that I entered based on, right, closed around this point here. So I got into the trade, and my stop loss is ATR. All right, so I use ATR, so my stop loss was right here, and my take profit will be 1 to 2, right? I'll be risking 1%, right, to make 2%, all right, something like that. Okay, so that's just the basic and simple setup that I have. Now, one thing I want you guys to pay attention to is that even though the trade did not play out well, even though the trend did not continue down from there, trend basically just manipulated us all the way up here, took out, get liquidity and everything, then crashes down, right? You can also see like it really crashes down, but we've been in and out of the market even before all of that. Now, what do we just need? We need the reaction, right? It's just ordinary reaction. That's what we need, right? So we waited and we saw the reaction, and then we got in, from the reaction, right? And that's how we're able to get into this trade, right? So majorly what I would do is that sometimes I would do 1 to 3 risk to reward, but for the most part, when I get to 1-to-1 risk to reward, right? When I make 1%, I'm risking 1%, I make 1%, I'll move my stop loss to break even, and then I will close half of my position and let the rest run, right? Either to 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. All right, so that's basically what I do. So yesterday we're able to secure like about 0.5% on this trade yesterday. If it had made it to like 1 to 2 yesterday, that would have been like probably about 1.5%, and if you made it to 1 to 3, that's going to be like a 2% trade, right? But normally I would break even and just take some profit, right? It's always very, very good for you to take profit. Don't just be in the market and the price is going in your direction, and then it's giving you money already, and then you just leave everything and not do anything. You're just looking for your tiny take profit to get it before maybe the distance, just like this one now, the distance is very small, and then you're waiting. Okay, I want you to get there before I close my trade. Don't do that, right? Always take something off the market, right? It's very, very important. And if you always take something off the market, you will most likely not blow your account, right? That's the whole thing, right? But you can get into the trade, and then at the end of the day, you close very early, maybe you already close partials, you break even, and then price comes back to touch your break-even point, take you out, and then continue your direction. Of course, you're going to see situations like that. But if you do it this way, the drawdown will be really minimal, which means that you're going to be able to help your psychology. Your psychology is not going to be in a very bad place, because you're taking something off the market, right? And that is very, very important. So that's how we're able to. This would have been a bad trade yesterday, not very bad, but it would have been like a bad trade yesterday, but we were still able to make some money from just this yesterday. And that's the beauty of reaction, right? You just wait for that tiny reaction to happen, and then you just basically just take advantage of it and take trade. As simple as that. All right. So today, that's what we have, right? So for those guys that have the TCH hot level indicator, you can start using a candle on the 5-minute candle to basically look for your entry. All right, if you're not going to be looking for double bottom and double top, all right, just basically what we've basically talked about before, right? Is another approach that you can also use that is really, really, profitable too as well. Now, I'm waiting for price to get here, so I tell there's a very big chance that price is gonna get there. We're starting to see some liquidity in the market, and also let's see how that one goes, right? And of course, we have our sell zone area at this point too as well on this one, and for here we have this one here. Now I want to quickly explain what I have on my MT5, just basically explain it to you guys what I use for my entry, right? So now, based on after explaining this to you guys now about this particular trade that I took here, right? I didn't, this was a very quick decision. This was a very quick decision, right? I mean, even so, when the trade got down here, it was just between 5 minutes, right? I'm not even sure it's up to 5 minutes, right? Right, decision, the entering of the trade and the trade eating 1-to-1 immediately is not up to 5 minutes, right? It's not up to 5 minutes at all. Now, what if before getting into the trade I start thinking? That's the reason why you need to learn how to create like some trading tools for yourself, right? You don't need to know how to code, right? Just tell AI, and AI is going to be able to help you to do that, right? So that's why you need all those stuff, right? So let me show you guys what I basically use for my entry, right? This is what I use for my entry right here. I told you guys was based on I can actually do cool. I also told you guys was based on ATR. I use ATR to set my stop loss. Something you trade view, cool. Now I've been able to create that, all right. And you can do this, DeepSeek can help you to do this. You can do this for free without even stressing. So just give you the prompt and then create it for you. All right. So I've been able to do that here. That at just the click of that button, my stop loss and take profit, my stop loss, take profit will be set automatically, and modification of my trade will also be there automatically. So how beautiful can that be, right? Like 2 years or maybe like 1 year ago, we basically can't do all these things, right? If you want to do this, you have to go meet like a developer, right, to help you to basically code your system so that you'll be able to do something like this, and you have to pay huge amount of money, right? But something you can just by the comfort of your home to make your trading easy. And times back then, you basically will need to, if you don't want to pay someone to help you to code, then the next thing you want to do is you are going to download that lot side calculator, that calculator on your phone, and then you start immediately price get to your level. The next thing you want to do is you want to go to your calculator and start inputting how many pips you want to risk, how many pips, what's your account size, how much you are risking, everything. Before you finish typing all those things, market is not going to wait for you. It's not going to wait, right? You don't expect market to be waiting for you to start calculating all those things, right? So at the end of the day, those things basically just cause inconsistency, right? So if you have decided to be risking like $1,000, it basically just means that today you're going to risk $1,000. Tomorrow might be you're risking $1,200. The next day again might be you're risking like $800. So it won't always match. Everything will always just will not match. So that's the thing. So it's always good for you. It's a good thing that at least now you can code your own trading system properly, and then just have it on your chart. If I want to get into this trade, it's so simple now. Let's say a trade has been presented, maybe on price has gotten a key level, and then I've seen a sell and I want to sell. I can easily just go to my MT5 and then anticipate the candle to close and just click the direction I want to trade. Maybe I want to sell, I click on sell, set my stop loss here and my take profits to the right place, and also helps me to manage the trade. So if the trade gets to 1-to-1, closes half of the position, I move my stop loss to break even. This is something you can do by yourself. All right. And like I said before yesterday, this is like a semi-automation when it comes to automating your EA, right? Automating your trading strategy. This semi-automation, because I still want to get involved in the market, I still want to avoid some trades, I still want to get into some trades. That's the reason, right? You still see me that I'm still active in the market. I still want to create buys, and I still click buy, I still want to click sells sometimes, right? So you can completely automate your trading EA, right? Your trading strategy. And that's something we've created yesterday, which we are going to backtest today, right? So for those of you guys that have been following me now, you know that we have the on-task EA. All right, there's an EA that's on my website, which is the on-task EA. That's the same EA that is taking this trade right here. You can see all this that is open. This particular EA start trading by 9 a.m. in the morning, right? And then it will just continue to look for entries, based on every things I've given it to look for. You look for it, and then it takes the trade by itself. I don't have to get myself involved in the market. I know it just basically do that by itself. So it's basically the one that is taking this trade for me. For my manual, I haven't taken any trade today. So the automation has basically been what has been taking it since the beginning of today. So it's two types. You can decide to go for the complete automation, right? And you can also decide to go for creating your semi-automation, or maybe you're creating your tools. All right, let's say you have an idea of a particular indicator you want to develop in your head, what you want it to look like and everything. You can actually make it come to reality, that you can even publish it on TradingView for other traders to be able to use it, right? It's as simple as that. Very, very as simple as that. So having understand that, I'm going to wait right now. All right, I'm going to wait for our key level to get tapped in, and while we are waiting, right, we are going to continue to talk about our EA. Looks like price is just going to continue to push to the downside. Also, man, we have a lot of things that's going on in the world right now. We have the Iran US war and Israel war and all that. Maybe that's why the US stock market is crashing. Maybe that's the reason why it's going down. So we should expect market instability at this time, but it doesn't matter, right? Since we are getting to trade to take reaction, I don't really that myself about what is going on in the world, right? Because why? Um, my trading is my trading strategy is so good that I don't have to worry about that. I only take advantage of small move. But there's something that is very very important that you have to pay attention to, and that is economic calendar. So you have to always pay attention to factory. Very very important, especially during that time that you're getting into trade. Always be careful. All right, let's filter this one. You concentrate on the high impacts, the news and all. Since I'm only trading the US stock market, I'm going to uncheck everything that I don't use. If you use it, let's say you trade other pairs, why not? You can leave it on chat. Okay. Right. And today is Tuesday, so it basically shows that there's no any high impact news today, right? So we don't have any high impact news. But starting from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's high impact news. And if you look at that, on Wednesday we have it at 2:15 p.m. and we have another one at 4 p.m. I'll be more worried about AP because ADP, I mean the non-farm payroll, non-farm employment change, right? So I feel like that one will kind of like have a very big impact on the market. Majorly, if ADP don't really have much impact on the market, then the impact is going to be coming with the ISM service, right? So, but I would expect that price is going to react, market is going to react very drastically when we have this news, which is 2:15. Now, what is the beautiful thing about this one is that would have escaped this high impact news. That's one about the strategy, right? So I don't really worry too much about the impact news because most of the impact news happened from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. and some of them just basically happen around 4 p.m. So by the time we are trading, right, by the time we are preparing ourselves for trading, by the time this news, we won't be in the market. So that's a big flex, especially when it comes to profit, because there are a lot of slippages with profits, right? That you get into trade, just slip you out, right? Especially when it's high impact. And some profits will even say you should not trade during high impact. You should close your trades in 3 minutes before bad news, and stay off the market 3 minutes after. So this is the flex right here, because if you're using the TCH level indicator, if you're trading the same way that I trade, then basically you're going to be able to avoid all this right here. So unemployment claims too as well, be able to unemployment rate as well. So there's a lot that's going to be happening on Friday. So we're going to see how that impacts the market. But today was safe, so there's no much drastic reactions. I mean, you can also check the Truth Social, right? So because we know what's going to happen, Trump might just decide to say anything now, and then the market will go crazy. So anything can happen, right? So but now there's nothing really drastic, right? So I'm gonna wait and see if we can find entry today. And if we don't find it on the stream, then I'm going to be calling it out for you guys on the Telegram channel. It's easy as that. Okay. So the next thing now is that we have to compile our EA, right? I mean, we've basically been able to successfully get an EA. So I feel like it's time for us to check our EA and then pass our EA, right? That's gonna be very very exciting. All right, I can't wait for that to happen. So, but before then, for those of you that are interested in the TCH level indicator, right? If you need this indicator on your chart to help you mark levels on your chart, very beautiful indicator. You can visit thecrazyhunters.com, thecrazyhunters.com, right? I think I should show you guys. Thecrazyhunters.com. All right, and then you'll be able to, you can just scroll down. All right, be able to get the, what is it called, the TCH level indicator. All right, this is something that if you stay on the stream long enough to also, you'll be able to create your EAs, and then you'll be able to sell something, right? It's not like you're living off of it, but you can just sell, you can just provide value to people, and then people just go there to get it, and then be able to actually make some money, your extra income, right? So you can never no to money, right? So if you need the TCH level indicator, the indicator comes, you get the indicator installed on your trading view, and then it also comes with the entry strategy, right, which is the MT5 strategy. Okay, the MT5 EA also comes with it, which is the ATR404, right? It comes with this one too that you can just use to create buys and sell anytime. So It's a very easy stuff that you can just do right here. So if you're interested, you can let me know and we'll get you signed up for it, right? So other than that, let's go back to our EA, right? Now before then, I'm just going to give you guys like a quick recap of what we talked about yesterday and how we're able to create a EA. Okay, so first, we talk about what is it called? The template you can use, especially if you want to create your EA, that the template to use, because it's very, very important that you have a template, right? So that will kind of like remind you of everything you need to tell the AI. So you give it the full what is it called? You give it everything you need, everything it needs to be able to create your idea successfully. All right. So you need the EA template, right? And then on the EA template, you need to name your EA, right? Whatever you want to give it. As of yesterday, we named the EA the Crazy Hunter EA, and then you have to select your platform. We did this on M5, and we didn't touch the pairs and the time frame because we want to keep it, flexible. We want to keep the EA flexible. We don't want to box in a particular pair or a particular time frame. So we didn't talk about that, but sometimes it might be very, very important to you. And we have a strategy type, right, which is following trend breakouts and whatever. Our strategy is Bollinger Band days, so we tell it that we are using Bollinger Band for our strategy. So that's just basically what we use. Now we're still going to get price action, which is the trend, grid, market condition, and every other stuff. We'll talk about that. Maybe when we are creating our own EA, we're going to create something different, something new, right? And then we get our entry conditions, which the buy condition was that price above the middle Bollinger Band line, right? When price cross and close above it, that it should take a buy. All right, that was our entry condition, and our entry condition sell was that when price close below the middle band, right? When price close below it, you should take a sell. And our stop loss was if it's taking a buy, all right, our stop loss on the band line, right? And if it's taking a sell, our stop loss will be the upper band line. And then our take profit is 2 times our risk. So if he's using $100, it's going to be, our take profit is going to be $200, right? So it's just going to multiply our stocks by 2, and then that will be our take profit. Of course, we're still touch on this. Take profit can be anything. You can use ATR, you can use fixed lot size or fixed pips, right? We still get that. We still have to create something around that so that you guys can see now risk management, right? So basically, what we did based on risk management was very minimal, right? Because we didn't want to go deep. That was the first one we're creating on the live stream. So we gave it max trades per day. That was all we only did on our what's it called? That was what we did on our risk management, right? So max trades per day. So we said it should only take 4 trades per day, whether win or loss, right? When it takes 4 trades per day, it doesn't open any position again, right? And then the next day it repeat the same thing, 4 trades per day, and all that, so on and so forth, right? So that's what we give it. And trade filter, right? So our trade filter, we basically just use one, and the trade filter we use here is trading session, right? So we didn't use trading session, we basically use time filter, right? So trading session and time filter is almost like the same thing. So depending on what you do. So if you give it an earlier time, maybe it's going to be on London session. If you give it a later time, maybe it's going to be on New York session. So basically we gave it time filter. So we wanted the EA to only trade 4 times. We wanted the EA to only trade 4 times 4 hours a day. That's just what the EA to do. It's only going to be trading 4 times a day, 4 hours in one day. So that was basically what we did. So the EA, we're going to be trading from 3 p.m. all right, which is 3 in the afternoon, and it's going to be trading to 7 p.m. right. That's what we use at this point here. And then for break even, partial close, trading stop, and all that, which is on the extra features, we basically don't use that, so we didn't use it. So we need to now create something, all right, which is this that we have here. Coming, guys. Okay, so we have the code here. All right, so what I'm going to do with the code is I'm just going to copy it, right, and we are going to straight to MT5, right, to actually put the code on our chart, and there's the strategy to see if the strategy is profitable or not. Don't expect anything too much from this, guys, please. it's just a very, it's just a sample. It's just a sample, right? So don't pay attention to big on this. Okay. So if you want to hack your trading system, this is what you do. You go straight to tools, right? Go to tools, and under tools, you click on meta codes. Meta codes, language editor, all this type of stuff. Right? You click on this, and when you click on that, you can make it be on the screen, right? It's not open another tab, right? You can look at down here. The MT5 now is already open a different tab, right? So basically, normally before this is where you give your, if you give your what is it called now? Someone who code, right? If you give your coder, what do they call them, right? If you give them programmer, if you give them your strategy, this is where they will come and will just start to write all this thing one after the other. All right, you write this language, you code it one after the other from here. But since we already have a code, we don't need to come and start writing anything. All we just need to do is to, highlight all of this. Okay, and when you do that, you right click and then you click on paste, right? Since you already copy the code on DeepSeek, right? You can paste. Now when you click on paste right here, then you come to file, right? Under file, you click on save as. Okay, so they can name it whatever you want. So I'm going to say the crazy hunter. The crazy, I love to always use is the crazy hunter. Hunter band test. Let's say band test. Let's say band test. Okay, all right. So when we click that, we click on save, right? When we click on save, now to know your code is already working perfectly and it's okay, what you want to do is to click on compile. You come to compile here. After you've renamed it, you click on compile. Now when you click on compile, if the code has any issue at all, you're going to see it down here. You're going to see it down here. If there's any error on your code, you're going to see here. Now in this case, we have 2 errors on this code, right? So now it's showing us the wrong parameters count, right? Some here, and then wrong parameters. So we have 2 parameter counts, right? Which is wrong, right? So what we're going to do is simply just copy, right? Just highlight this, right? You can click it from here. Highlight all the description, right? Highlight everything it says, and then copy it. All right. When you copy, next thing you want to do is you go back to DeepSeek, right? It's not difficult, right? So just go back to DeepSeek and paste the code, right? Paste the code there. Everything you highlight, just paste it there, and then you cannot tell that. If for those of you guys that don't know how to code, I mean, the pointers we're talking about here is easy. If you know how to code now, you can basically just correct yourself. But since this is for people who don't really know how to code or don't have any like coding, right? So you have it this way, and the next thing you want to do is that you paste the code there, and then you tell it that you can say something like, give me the complete code when this is adjusted, when this is sorry, when this is corrected, give me the code, right? When it's corrected, give me the complete code. Now, tell it something like this. Now you don't have to do anything. Don't tell it, don't even say anything. Just paste it, tell it to give you the complete code, and then click on OK, right? It's going to analyze the code. It's going to analyze what's wrong with the code and then regenerate the code for you again. All right. So it's going to generate the code again and then go from there. Now it's creating the complete code back. All right. So he basically told us he has fixed it. He has fixed the 2 errors and this, and it will also give you the reason why that was wrong. The reason why you have that error, it will give you here. So I mean, if you're interested in it, you can go through it one after the other, to see why it was wrong and anything. But just let it do its thing, and it will give you a complete coding. All right, so we have a complete code now. I'm gonna copy it. Hope you can hear me all right. Hope I'm sounding good. If it's not, you guys can let me know. So I can. Now we go back to our MT5. You copy this. And you paste. Paste the new code right there. Follow the same process. Go to file. Save as. And then you can do something like maybe let's do the test, right? Let's just say counter right. Right. It'll be different from the first one you save, right? So save it. And this time we compile. And boom. So what do we have now? We already have our E ready, right? Complete, right? I don't even think this take back. This won't even take. If I'm actually not even teaching, maybe off an hour, I'll finish this. Easy. Also, your trading system in just less than 1 hour, right? So now that we have this, all right, and it tells you zero errors, zero warning, everything is complete and all that, coded and everything. Or the next thing you want to do is go to your MT5. Now it's automatically on M5 once it's compiled successfully here, right? Compiled successfully, right? It will be automatically on your M5. So just click on your MT5, and then we have code here. Let me expand this. Now we have the code, right, which is the great other band, right? Now what you can do with this, let's say peradventure you want to test, right? Maybe you want to test it, you want to see if it's a profitable strategy. You click it like this, you right click, and then you click on text, right? Now let's take this one, let's make this a little bit smaller back. Now you already put it here, just make sure you expand the tab up like this, all right? So things too high, drag this one back down. Where are you? Okay, good. Seen it. Let's push it up a little bit. Okay, let's move this one to this side. We'll get it back, but let's put it there. Now what you have now, this is the place where you can back this system. See. All right. Now the thing I just noticed now, like our stream is the sound is not going proper. Sound is not going like I expected. It's not going the network's a little bit bad. Here's what we do here. I think we should finish tomorrow. Let's compile tomorrow. Let's backtest this system tomorrow. Because of the network. The network is really bad. I don't know what's happening today. And it's extremely bad. Let's backtest this tomorrow. Let me try to fix network, then we can back again. And we've basically done over 1 hour today. So I'll put these levels. I'll put this on Telegram channel. I'll post this on the Telegram channel so that you guys can just put in these levels. And then tomorrow we'll back to the EA, and then we see how it goes. Come with more clear network. Hopefully tomorrow. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's do this tomorrow, okay? Let's do it tomorrow. Okay.